When you woke up this morning and looked at your calendar or your to-do list, was it full of all the most glorious things that you can imagine? I feel like most of us, the answer is no. I recently started using the Full Focus Planner. Now, this is not an ad for the Full Focus Planner. I did a video all about why I use it, but there's a section in the planner called Ideal Week, which you're basically supposed to put down what would be your ideal week in personal and professional life. What would it look like Sunday through Saturday, every aspect of your day, if you had it exactly how you preferred. When I started filling that out, I thought to myself, well, I would ideally like to do this, and this, and this, and this, and I put things all around and then looked at it and kind of laughed like, well, that's just not possible. Then I started thinking to myself, well, the reason that you write in an ideal week and the reason that you start to plan ahead with an ideal week in mind is so that you can hopefully put the things in place to be able to make that ideal week your actual week. You've heard about the idea of you obviously can't hit a target that you're not aiming at. And I think what I've started to realize in my life is that I have to continuously look at what my ideal week and my target is and continue to put things in place to be able to get to those spots instead of just looking at it like this will never actually happen. There are too many things going on and I'll just live with it. As an entrepreneur, one of the most difficult things that I face is being able to have consistency in my schedule. Obviously, there's so many things that are always happening and new opportunities that come about that I want to take on, and there's things that I want to do and things I can't do, and my schedule is never really the same. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't have a little bit more control over it. When I made the decision to leave a full-time job to become an entrepreneur and my own business owner, I did it with the intent of saying I want to be able to have flexibility in my schedule and do what it is that I want to do with my schedule. But if you're anything like me, you realize very quickly that as soon as you own your own business, you actually have hundreds of bosses because all of your clients now kind of really decide for the most part what you do because you have to do everything you can to please them to be able to keep the work coming. But at the same time, if you let them control every aspect of your time, you basically lose all the freedom that you even went in the first place when you started your own business. So here's the solution that I have that I'm trying to work on. Sit down today, this week, maybe this month if you don't have the time to get to it right away, and think about and plan out what it would look like in your ideal week. What would you do when you wake up? What would you do during the afternoon, in the morning, in the evening? Take that ideal week and put it next to your actual schedule that you have this week and see how closely they actually match up. Most likely, your ideal week probably is not going to look at all like the current week that you actually have. So then you have to ask yourself this question: how do I make the actual schedule that I have look more like what I would prefer it to have? Now, you have to be realistic about all this and don't put your ideal week to be that you would just sleep all day because you obviously have to work and you can't just sit around and do nothing. But maybe it just means that you want to have an exercise time sometime in the middle of the afternoon. Maybe it means you want to be able to start each morning with exercise. Maybe it means you want to end the day with exercise. I don't know what's going to be in your ideal week. What matters is you should have a target that you're trying to aim for. And if you don't have a target you're trying to aim for, you're never going to really have your schedule ever look like you really want it to be. But here's what I also know: your ideal week that you have dreamed of and would love to happen is not going to just happen by writing it down. This ideal week that comes to mind needs to be your target moving forward, and everything you do needs to be with the intent of getting to a spot that you want to be in. So I challenge you this week to think about what your schedule looks like. And if you are dreading each and every day when you wake up what is on your schedule, maybe you should reevaluate why it's on your schedule. I know for me, it's not acceptable to just simply look at my calendar and say, all these things that I have scheduled are really not what I prefer to do. I didn't go into business and I didn't become an entrepreneur just because I wanted to go under other people's schedules. I wanted to design it.